I had it described not that long ago as one of the most memorable bottles you can drink. Medicinal, Band-Aids, iodine. Yeah. The whole room just smelled like a burnt transformer over eggs.
And I know you're going to tell me what it is, and I'm going to find out it's a whiskey I love, but I don't like it right now. I know how it's going to happen.
Derek knows all too well these this or that segments are off a trout. Rearrange your chairs today.
Oh, you're so far away.
I know, right? You're like, Derek.
You miss him?
I know, right? I can't reach out anymore, you know?
It's probably for the best.
Oh. So yeah, we're gonna have a good one today.
I hope so.
I hope you like things smoky.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I do.
This is interesting.
This is gonna be interesting. Oh yeah, I got a full gamut today.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So there you go.
Let's get all the stuff. Let's get ready.
Get a little excited. So welcome to the Whiskey Cave. I'm Tom.
I'm Derek.
That's Derek. And this...
I'm Lee Graves.
Lee Graves from Kristoff Cigars. So we'll get into a little bit about what you do in the cigar world and whatnot, but we're also here for some whiskey.
Looking forward to both.
So I love this question. I asked this question to anybody that drinks whiskey.
Okay.
What did I text you the other day? What's your go-to whiskey? Now, I throw that question out there. I'd get anything in return.
Sure.
I could get from I don't know to Jameson to something exotic, right? I'll tell you what I don't often get. One of the most peatiest scotches known to whiskey drinkers. And that's what I got from you, sir.
Laphroaig 10.
Laphroaig 10.
Yeah,
so, beautiful bottle.
I've never heard that.
So, right, exactly, right? I know at the cigar lounge, we've got a couple of regulars that drink it on the regular. And I had it described not that long ago as one of the most memorable bottles you can drink. And you know what?
Well, that's true.
Not always a compliment, but
That's definitely true.
Yes, because one of our best memories, best is a really subjective
one of our
word.
strongest memories.
Strongest memories is the first time we had Laphroaig 10.
Yeah.
So this was, I don't know.
A long time ago. This is when we first started drinking whiskey.
We went north of 8 years ago, right?
No, like 12 years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, all right, let's not count. Well, that'll make this easier on me. And we were just trying to dabble into peated whiskey, and like most whiskey drinkers, you got to kind of earn, or work up to a good
100%.
peated malt, right? It's usually not the...
You don't start there.
It's usually not the whiskey that you come out the gate with, like, oh, I love peated malt, So we ended up getting a bottle of Laphroaig 10. Why we chose that bottle, no idea. There's plenty of other peated scotch out there, right? But Laphroaig 10 is either somebody brought it or I bought it or what have you. And I remember this is well before this room was built. So we're out there at the wet bar in the game room, and I pour 4 glasses because there's 4 of us there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had anything to sip. I'm just pouring them out. And at the same time, my wife's coming down the stairs into the room. And at that time, this whole room is getting engulfed with peat smoke, and it's just filling the room. And all of us started going, wow. And my wife went downstairs and says, what is that ferocious smell? I mean, she was just turned off out the gate. So to speed this story up real quick, our first experience with peated whiskey didn't really go that well.
Did we even drink it?
That's common.
We did not drink it.
No,
I think we had
smelled like Band-Aids.
I think we had a few sips. So, all right. So you bring up Band-Aids, and I think that's awesome because I think Laphroaig 10 particularly is the most often described as medicinal, Band-Aids, iodine.
Yeah.
I can't say me. You probably agree, but I specifically remember saying burnt transformer.
Yeah,
the whole room
battery
just smelled
fire.
like a burnt transformer. So we're throwing out a whole lot of lovely.
You're making me feel great.
A lot of lovely flavor profiles for you. What is your favorite whiskey? So
I will say about a year later, I had the Laphroaig at a whiskey tasting, and I did enjoy it the second time around.
Sure.
Was it the regular 10 or was it the 10 with the finish in sherry?
I think it was the regular 10.
Okay. All right. Well, the other reason why I like this question is, what is your go-to whiskey? Because I like to take what you drink on a regular and see if I can find something in the same lane that you wouldn't necessarily typically go to the liquor store and buy yourself.
Sure.
So that's what we're drinking today.
And I've never seen it before.
So this is a limited edition, special release. It's an experimental series from Laphroaig. So we'll get into that a little bit. We're going to pour a glass. In fact, we're going to need a third glass here today.
Oh yeah,
I did come prepared. We're not leaving you out. So this is Laphroaig. That's another thing is on this box. I noticed they actually put the pronunciation, like how to pronounce it.
Oh, did they?
On their standard lines, they don't do that. It's one of the hardest to pronounce if you don't know how to pronounce it, but it's actually one of the easiest to pronounce once you know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Where
Once you know how to pronounce it, though, you can't spell it.
The letters are all there in this one.
Spelling is a totally different
Yeah.
challenge. Spelling is a totally different challenge. So this is the L 3.0. This is the third release of this series.
Okay.
And we're supposed to get some charcoal, some butterscotch, and yes, some peat. And what I am impressed about this is it is cast strength.
Oh, geez.
What I'm not impressed is the 700 milliliter bottle.
The
and
short
it showed
can
to be
bottle.
50 milliliters. So we're coming in at 100 that's a light cast strength, 110.6 proof.
Okay.
So, and I didn't do what Derek says I should do all the time and open it in advance, but I think this is going to be all right.
Yeah, be
So
fine.
we're going to make it.
Yeah, well, sometimes
we
we make a
occasionally
fool of
struggle
ourselves
with
trying to
that.
get the top off.
Look at that, flawless.
You'd think I'd open enough bottles of whiskey that they'd all be flawless, but unfortunately that is not the case.
It's got a nice glug, glug, glug.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can you smell it?
Oh, yeah. So Laphroaig, obviously one of the few distilleries on the island of Islay. They consider it one of the best walks on that island, as they're in walking distance of Lagavulin and Ardbeg.
All right.
Yeah, I got to get there.
Yeah.
So this is Elements 3.0. Not the cheapest of bottles, but not necessarily totally out of range either. Our latest experiment in the fundamentals of Laphroaig's production, where higher kiln temperatures have led to the creation of raised levels of charcoal-like and ashy notes in our malted barley. The story goes that dark smoke poured from the distillery chimney one evening, telling us that a buildup of peat dust in our kilns had accidentally caught fire. While we got the fire under control, the heat kept rising, eventually exceeding the upper limit of our temperature gauge. Once calm was restored, we were intrigued about how the fire might have affected the malt drying above. Experimenting with these grains led to the curious Laphroaig you hold in your hands today. Well, I just hold the box currently. This non-chill filtered cast strength Laphroaig has notes of ashy embers, a douse of campfire, peaty smoke with charcoal and burnt caramel notes. Now our kiln temperatures are back to normal. You're unlikely to experience this Laphroaig like this ever again.
All right.
That part's really cool.
Yeah.
That part's pretty cool. Yeah, and that's what we like here in a whiskey cave. Something that is going to help create a memory
I love a story.
and a story. So
Is there an age statement?
No, there is not. And usually on these limited editions, it's very common for there not to be an age statement because they're probably adding a whole lot of whiskeys. And the rules around age statements, if there's a drop of 8 year, then they can't call it anything higher.
Right.
So, one of our favorite bottles, one of my favorite bottles, the Signet, and that's stated to have as much as 40-year-old whiskey in it. But it's not age stated because it's also assumed it's got some 8-year whiskey in it.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's peated, but
Yeah. It gets.
it's not overbearing.
it's not overbearing. It's got it's got a subtle sweet.
Well, that's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the Laphroaig is that once you get through the peatiness, it's really quite sweet. I find, and I'm getting a lot more on the nose of the sweetness here than I would on the standard 10. I think.
I am not getting burnt transformer.
No,
I'll say
not-
that.
yeah.
I am getting a sweet, smoky peat.
Once you've been exposed to peat, it doesn't hit you the same way after the first few times.
Sure. Yeah.
I get a little of that ash though.
I was gonna say rounded off, pleasant campfire, like not aggressive ash to me, but it's there, but it's rounded and
It's slowly
pleasant.
burnt itself off, kind of the morning after campfire smell.
Yeah.
That is not the Laphroaig I remember.
It's not the
No.
Laphroaig I remember. Actually, it kind of tastes like it smells. It's a little peaty. It's sweet. It's a little, it does have a little ashiness to it. Slightly dry finish.
It does dry out a little bit on the end.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I think Laphroaig does more with traditional oak, which we've had many conversations on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if, hear me out, if Glenfiddich peated their Scotch.
Yeah. Richer than that, but
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But in that same kind of oaky dryness on the back end that we often speak of with Glenfiddich. So Kristoff Cigars, how the hell did you get in the cigar industry?
Cigar industry. So easy story, I guess. So I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Jinx, technically, which is a little town outside Tulsa, and I had family friends.
The town's called Jinx?
Jinx, Jenks, home of the Trojans.
Go Trojans.
Yes, go Trojans. Yeah. And we had family friends growing up who, when I was in like middle school, intermediate school, they opened up the first cigar bar in Tulsa. And the first location was in Jinx, in this little like entertainment district we had called the Riverwalk, which is right on the Arkansas River. And so and they were close family friends, and the Riverwalk was where everybody that had like the arcade, it had like a putt-putt course, it had a movie theater,
place to be,
and like restaurants. So parents would go out to eat and let the kids run wild and do whatever they do. And so I would get dropped off on the weekends on a Friday night or whatever, and I go play with my friends. And then the Fausts and the Hertz, who owned the cigar box, they would often, because they had kids my age, we would all go there after they closed at 10, and they would take us home. So I would end my night at the cigar bar, more or less. Obviously it was empty and I wasn't smoking, but so I spent a lot of time around it because I was close with this family. And as I got older, I always just thought it was fascinating, the cigar bar. It was leather chairs and people were drinking fancy drinks and it smelled so good in there. So as I got older, that just really intrigued me into cigars, and started smoking. And then I ended up working for them for a little bit and never really looked back. I'm still here.
So you're essentially born and raised in the cigar industry.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay,
what got you to New England?
You want the long or the short story?
Short version.
A girl. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you have to ask?
I'm curious.
I mean, every now and then somebody says job relocation.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
The position opened up. It was the New England region.
So you've been with Kristoff for how long?
It's coming up on 4 years this September. Yeah.
Nice.
It's been great.
Yeah. And you seem to enjoy it every time we talk and every time we get together. You just, love what you do.
They're a great company. They're super easy to work for. Glenn, the owner, Glenn Case, is one of the kindest, most genuine people you ever meet. My boss, Jared, is awesome. He's a little rough around the edges. He's a very direct person, but I like that. That's great in a boss. He tells me what he wants me to do, and I do it. He says, good job, and we move on. He stays out of my hair.
So I think what's fascinating, we don't have to go too deep into this, but Glenn was a banker, is that right?
Yes. Something along those lines. Investment banker, I believe.
Yeah, and somewhere along the line, you got a hair across his ass and said, the hell with this, I'm going to go make some, or get some cigars.
Yeah. He said his wife got him into the cigar industry.
Well, that story never happens.
Yeah. Glenn was a banker and his wife was a cigar broker. His wife did what I did. What I do, more or less. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So he thought his plan was to run a brokerage with her whenever he retired. He got I would say into his mid 40s and was tired of the corporate lifestyle and had made a little money that he thought he could do something with. So he was going to run a brokerage with her, and they hit the pavement really hard for like a year or two. And if you're not familiar with a broker, basically you're a contractor sales for these people. So you don't work directly for them. And once you've built up the brand to a certain size, they go, okay, great. We can now afford to hire an in-house salesperson. Thank you for all your hard work. We're going to go another direction. And after that happened a couple times, he said, well, this kind of sucks. I put all this work in, and then all of a sudden they pull the rug out from under me, and I'm starting all over every couple of years. So why don't I just make my own brand? And that's how we got started.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's
he's got-
worked.
I mean, and he's got quite a few lines, right? How many lines are there roughly?
I think 20.
Yeah, that's
Somewhere in
about
that
right.
range. Yeah.
Do you personally have a favorite?
My favorite is probably the Cameroon. I
Really?
always go back to the Cameroon. Lately, it's been we released one a couple years ago called the Tres Compadres. That's really taken a lot of attention from me. I just think it's a wonderful blend. But the one that I always tend to go back to is the Cameroon.
Do you smoke that with the Laphroaig?
I do, because when I pair with whiskey, I try to go opposites. So if it is, I know I said I like the sweetness on the Laphroaig, but obviously the first note that you're going to get is going to be the big smoke and peat. So if you're getting non-sweet notes, I try to go with a sweeter cigar. And if you're going to get sweeter notes, I try to go with a more spicy, heavier cigar. I think they contrast and kind of play off each other well. So the Cameroon has a very nutty sweetness to it. A lot of Cameroons have a little spice to it, but ours is a little milder.
So
on
the
spice.
peated Laphroaig doesn't wash that flavor profile out?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that they mingle pretty well.
So I generally, on just a basic general rule of thumb, I typically say if you got a light cigar, go with a light whiskey. And if you've got a heavy cigar, go with a heavy whiskey.
Sure.
And it's just a general rule of thumb, because I find often if I were to smoke a Connecticut, for example, with Laphroaig, I'd get no flavor notes on that cigar. That Laphroaig would just wash that thing right out.
Mm-hmm. I think that stands true. And again, our Cameroon is more of a medium plus blend, so I guess it depends on everything that's going in there. But
I think it also depends, and obviously, you told me your favorite whiskey was Laphroaig, so you're a little used to the peat.
Sure.
I think as you get acclimated and used to peat whiskey, when now you maintain the other flavor profiles and notes.
Yeah, I mean, you can qualify a lot of peated whiskeys is actually like light and fruity.
Yes.
Once you've gotten over the threshold of the kind of peat thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it kind of washes away.
This is actually pretty light. Yes, it's got some. It was peated, and that created a certain amount of smell and nose profile, but the flavor profile is pretty light and smooth.
So we're gonna stick it to the peat, because we're gonna get into a this or that here in a moment.
Okay.
And so
it's peat.
If you don't know,
Peat,
this
peat,
or
peat.
that is, I'm gonna pour you two things blind, 2 glasses of whiskey blind.
Okay.
You don't know what they are. I will give you the clue. They're peated. I just ran the gamut of peat today. So basically, you're just gonna try them, and Derek's in the same boat you are.
Okay.
He doesn't know what they are, so you'll just tell me whether you like this or that. I'm gonna find out if you guys agree. Whether you disagree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you guys head to head here.
And what you think?
Huh?
And what you think?
Well, I know what they are, but
Sure.
I'm still allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, why not, right? I mean, what am I without an opinion? And I think when we get back, obviously we're going to do the whiskey cave take. We'll finish our topic on this bottle here, and I want to know from you. So I'll give you a little time to think about it.
All right.
I want to know from you what you think is the most underrated Kristoff cigar. Don't answer me yet. Keep that thought.
All
right. So you ready to do some blind tasting?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's get over to this or that. We'll flip the camera and go have some fun. I love peated whiskey. I love it when we just run.
I don't think we've ever done an episode where it's all peated whiskey.
We haven't.
Yeah. You're not gonna be tasting anything else for days.
Yeah. Good stuff. So welcome to this or that.
Good to be here.
So just a reintroduction, Lee from Kristoff Cigars. We got a couple of blind pours for you.
Beautiful.
And also blind for Derek here as well. So you guys don't know what they are. We're going to get into it. You can nose them. Tell me, eventually you're going to let me know whether you like this or that. And I'll tell you what you're drinking. All right. So you want to start with A or B? Any preference?
No. Well, let the guest decide. A or B.
Let's go B.
B it is. All right.
It looks a little lighter, so I don't know. It's drawn my eye. Could just be the lighting.
It's pretty damn close.
It looks a little lighter.
All right. I'll go with you guys. So yeah, just give it a little nose.
B is like a little yellowy and A is a little orangey.
I don't know if it's by contrast or what we were just having, but it smells very sweet to me.
And less peaty.
Yes.
I agree with you on a less peaty.
It doesn't have the ashy profile.
No.
A little sweetness.
A thicker mouthfeel. I like that.
Oh. Yeah, that's rich.
I think Derek likes it already.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, we got to try the other one before we make a decision.
That's good.
Yeah, the viscosity's there. It's definitely thicker than when we were just drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I don't think it's nearly as campfire.
No.
You do get the peat, but it's just more delicate, more rounded off.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite as dry, although dry, but not quite as dry.
I don't think it's as dry.
Not nowhere near as dry. A little baking soda.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of at the end. Where like the last one had a little bit of like dry oakness. This is a little bit more like dry powder.
Okay. You think this was a little fruitier? Not that I would call it very fruity, but
I'm not getting a lot of fruitier, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Not necessarily.
Okay.
If it would, more like dried fruit.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Hey?
Jose, I'm gonna get ahead
Let's
of
go.
you.
I got a big whiff of apples.
Really?
Yeah. Like a red apple.
After the last two, I wouldn't have guessed this was even peated.
Yeah.
That is crazy talk. That being said, I was just thinking to myself, I'm probably a little peat immune to the nose here at this moment in time.
More candy. Confection. Sugary.
Yes. Yeah, hard candy.
Mm-hmm. I get a grainy aftertaste.
Do you?
Yeah. Not like in a bad way. Well, like
A little waterier. Not quite as thick on the
Sure.
mouth.
Thinner.
Yeah, thinner.
100% agree with that. It is. I don't.
And a little sour finish.
I agree with that.
maybe that's what I'm mean.
I was just going back
Yeah.
to the apple. I'm like, I don't know if apple's what I'm quite getting, but I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know if I describe it as apple, but I don't necessarily know how else to describe it. You mentioned a little bit of that sour
Mhm.
finish kind of fits that mold a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, a little. You know, I don't even want to say sour apple, but closer to that
Yeah.
lemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like A is kind of all over the place.
Do you think either one's older than the other? Do you think either one is proofier than the other?
I think B might be proofier.
Okay.
It's got a little sharpness. B's got a little sharpness on the finish that could be proof, but it's so well put together that hard to say. A, I would think is younger.
Because it's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at.
But when I had B for the first time, I this is way less proofy than the Laphroaig. B has more of a flavor profile.
I think you're telling us how you feel.
Yeah, oh no, it's
Yeah.
pretty obvious. It's not even close. Like we've done some of these where it's like, oh, it's 55-45 or 50, 347.
All right, let Lee hear from Kristoff. What do you like here? Do you like one over the other?
It's B.
You like
B.
B over A?
And I know you're going to tell me what A is, and I'm going to find out it's a whiskey I love, but I don't like it right now. I know how it's going to happen.
Derek knows all too well this or that segments are often traps.
Yeah.
I too will pick B. So this is a runaway favorite of B.
All right.
So I'm going to tell you what B is. I'm going to tell you what your favorite is.
Yep.
It is the 10-year Port Charlotte.
All right.
And this is coming in at a 100 proof even. All right.
Heavy peated. Is that the one you said you're getting less peat on?
Well, less peat.
But
than
yeah,
that
in
one.
comparison, yeah.
Yeah, and we've often joked heavy peated.
What does it mean?
Yeah, heavy peated is different for me than it is for you. Or,
Well, the
anybody
Octomore
else.
says the most peated.
Yeah.
I didn't really think it was that.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel all that much more peated than the other one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So A, I suppose, unfortunately for you, sir, is the very bottle you told me.
I knew it was going to be it.
Right? It is your go-to whiskey.
I knew that's what you were going to do to me.
10-year Laphroaig. So yes, this is a trap game, and you fell right in it.
I know.
And we do this,
But I still stand by it. I don't know.
and we do this to not only highlight what the perspective you have when you're drinking something blind compared to what you know it is,
Right.
and that really comes into play with really aged or pricey stuff. A lot of times psychologically we think it's good because it was expensive,
Right.
and that's not always the case. And we prove that when you drink it blind.
Right.
The other thing is, sometimes whiskey drinkers tend to stay in their lane. Like, oh, this is my go-to. This is what I like. This is the only thing I really drink.
Mhm.
And when you do something like this, a side by side, you now realize that you like the Port Charlotte.
Absolutely.
Have you had that before?
I had not. No.
That's a good. I like that.
And they're in the same price range.
Yeah.
So now you have just opened your horizon to perhaps putting another thing.
Perhaps got a new one. Yeah.
Exactly. I knew I was already going to like the Port Charlotte.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan. Both Islay whiskeys.
Yeah.
I will say this, and you didn't mention it, so I guess I'm going to speak for you as well. We did not get that burnt transformer that we got.
Oh no,
You
no,
said
and like
20
it's even the second time I had. I think it's just that we had no exposure to peated whiskey at the time, and you just have to get. It's kind of like when you first start drinking beer. Oh, I don't like beer. Then after you drink beer for a while, like you do begin to appreciate beer.
Yeah.
Same thing kind of with peated whiskeys. You might not. The first one might hit you a little bit. It's new. Then your body kind of like filters out that signal, and you get the good stuff.
Yeah. So in the battle of Port Charlotte and 10-year Laphroaig, Port Charlotte will reign winner today. So thanks for
Now you know.
yeah, thanks for playing along.
Of course. Yeah.
So we'll cheers to B, and then
Cheers to B.
Is this finished? You asked me if this was finished, but we asked about fruity notes. Is the Port Charlotte finished?
I actually think there is a little blend of finishing it. They don't really mention it. They really only mention oak casks.
Yeah.
But I think if you dive into it, there's a little
small
of this, a
amount.
little of that. I think there might be some like French oak in it, but don't hold my feet to the fire on that one. So we'll get back over to the special edition Laphroaig, and we'll do a little whiskey cave take, and we'll revisit the question.
I got it.
What is the most? Oh, you already have the answer?
Yeah.
All right, good. I love it. What is the most underrated Kristoff cigar available? All right, go. So your go-to whiskey just fell.
It did, and I knew you were going to do that to me, but I'm an honest man, so I had to answer honestly.
When you're drinking blind, you got no choice.
It didn't fall. He just found another alternative.
I did say the words "I don't like that," which kind of hurts now, but it was relative to what we were having.
Yeah, well, we're just glad here at the Whiskey Cave we were able to introduce you to something else that you can put in your rotation of good peated whiskey.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
and that is really one of our favorite things is to introduce. Oh, hey, you like this? You might also like this. Have you tried that? Like, hey.
So we'll go back to our question. What is the most underrated Kristoff cigar?
I think it's the Sumatra.
Sumatra.
I think our Sumatra is excellent.
Yeah.
It's medium. It's got a really nice baking spice, cinnamon, nutmeg, that kind of thing. It's very approachable. Like, it's not going to overpower you, but it has a lot of flavor. So even if you're someone who has been smoking your full-bodied cigars, you can come down and be very satisfied. But it's also a really good stepping stone for somebody who's been smoking mild cigars that wants to get into something with a little more going, but doesn't want to get overpowered with that intense pepper. And
so, would you say it's valid statement to say if you enjoy the Connecticut, that would be a good step up?
It could be a good step up. It might be the second step. Maybe I might put you in say the Cameroon or the Shade Grown or even the original Maduro before I would do that. But it would certainly be pretty close on the way.
I find you mentioned Maduro. I find it's often that Maduro is the next step more often than not from a Connecticut smoker, right?
I believe so.
It's a little closer to full flavor, but it's sweeter and it's balanced. But they feel like they're smoking something heavier when in reality they're not.
They're not. Yeah.
Right? It's just a little bit more flavorful, a little but yet a little sweeter compared to a Connecticut.
Right.
Is that your favorite Kristoff, or do you have what's your go-to Kristoff? You personally, Lee?
My go-to Kristoff, it's the Cameroon.
Is it
the Cameroon? Absolutely. Yeah. We use Mirafel Cameroon in it. It's fantastic.
What does that mean?
Mirafel is a family. It's a Dutch family that own. So in Cameroon, there's no like large industrial farms. Cameroon, Africa. So it's a collection of small independent farms. I'm no expert, so this is my understanding at the very least. Mirafel is a family, a Dutch family that has been for like 100 years contract working with all of these small independent farms, and they have just refined and they grow the best African Cameroon tobacco.
So the tobacco comes from Africa.
It comes from Africa, and the Mirafel family actually, I believe, will export it from Africa, and they do a lot of their aging in the Netherlands, and then it would come to our factory.
Oh wow!
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Leaves have a lot of miles on them.
Oh yeah. A lot goes into it before you light up a cigar. It's pretty interesting to learn about.
So mine's probably the Vente.
Vente?
Yeah,
Excellent. Yeah.
yeah. I like that full bowl. Hit me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, send me full force here. So that's my take. That's my favorite. So
that's the same wrapper as the original Maduros we discussed. Yeah. It's rich, but it's not over the top. It's really nice.
So yeah, and actually we're gonna get to see you up in North Conway at the Original Cigar and Bar.
That's right. Next month.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
The back half of July. So you're coming up. We're gonna do a little event. We'll have a little fun. Smoke some cigars, some whiskey maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a good time up in the White Mountains.
White Mountains are beautiful, man.
Yeah,
really are. So let's get back to this Laphroaig. So before we get into the whiskey cave take, I do want to say, out of what we just had over there, the this or that, this has got more character.
Yes.
No.
Really?
No. Having come back to it, it doesn't have the same body or the same flavor profile.
In comparison, or
in comparison, after having that and come back to it, I like it less now after having the Port Charlotte than before having the Port Charlotte.
Well, there's a big price difference between this and the Port Charlotte, so.
Yeah. And I think it's running into the same problem I've been having a lot lately.
All right, so I guess you're going to roll us right into the whiskey cave take.
Well, no, this is a personal preference take. I'm struggling lately with cask strength whiskey.
You've said that a few times, yeah. But this is like cask strength by name.
But it's
still 55 proof or 55%.
Yeah. The first couple sips are intriguing, but the third and fourth and fifth sip become
wear
me out. Yeah, and I don't taste it as well. I don't taste it as well or as deeply, and I don't appreciate it past the first couple sips.
So we agree a lot, at least when it comes to whiskey.
Yeah.
But this is one side of the whiskey thing that we're not necessarily on the same page on. I've always said where there's flavor, there's proof. Now, I do think there's a threshold you can cross. We had that 142 proof from, was it Montana we had that from? Yeah, well, you didn't know it was 140 plus when you were drinking it until you were about 4 or 5 sips in. Then you realize you didn't have taste buds anymore.
Right.
and now you can go, what's the point in drinking it? Because it burnt it off. And for that matter, I had a rye. It was a local rye, Cathedral Ledge, actually.
Oh, nice.
So right across the street from the Original Cigar Bar. And I got to say, my first couple of sips, I raved about it. I was like, oh, this lingers nice, very good. But I forget the proof, but it was 130 probably plus anyway. And the more I sipped it, the more I didn't have that lingering taste. Now I'm just burning my buds.
And it might be our pace.
That's fair.
Because we're trying to get a bunch of sips in to get kind of an opinion in a relatively short period of time. If I was lingering over this over a longer period of time, it might not build up. Yeah. But I've been finding the cask strengths, at least in this setting, have been building up on me.
All right, so let's get into the whiskey cave take. This is the Laphroaig Special Edition 3.0 L 3.0. I think it's $165. It's a one-time annual, so I assume next year they'll come out with the 4.0. I don't know that for sure. But
well, they won't have a fire in the kiln next year.
So they said. So once this is gone, they're gone. There are I want to say there's about 50 left in the state of New Hampshire. So if you're intrigued, by all means, go grab it. So we'll start with you. What's your overall take of this bottle?
I like it. I will say it's weird after doing that to say, but it's hard not to compare it to Laphroaig, which I love, no matter what just happened over there.
Well, it's your fault we're drinking.
It is. Absolutely. I think it's interesting, and for somebody who really likes Laphroaig, it's a fun visit. For the price point jump, I'm not sure it's totally worth it, but what I have, where this would go for me, if I was next to like a nice warm fire, I'm just imagining that. It sounds so nice. I do an annual ski trip with friends. This is where I would drink that. This is a ski trip. It's cold outside.
That's
I'm around
a great,
a fire.
great call out.
That's what I would do with this bottle.
Yeah, that's a great call out.
It's much better put together than the 10-year.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
It may be a little pricey just as a prove it bottle, but like for those people that have badmouthed Laphroaig, I can say, well, try this one. It's pretty, it's pretty well put together. And if you're, if you're someone who's really into peat, you're into peat, I would get this try. You might find it very pleasant.
Yeah, so I like it. I mean, we can always get into, is it worth the price point? I often say, sure, when it's a limited edition, it creates a memory. I'm probably not likely to buy again, but I had it for that experience, and I'm okay with that. I actually kind of like the character. I like its proof point at 110. I think it lingers very well. I think it actually has more character than the 10-year by far, quite honestly. Again, if you're just valuing on its price point, it's hard to get to that $100 stretch. But there's definitely substantial difference to me. Would I buy it again? Probably not. I'm going to enjoy it, the bottle that we did get, and appreciate while it lasts. Will I buy if they come up with another experimental? Am I hooked on their experimental line? I'd gotta give it another go. If I liked another go, then it's like the Ardbeg committee releases.
It's got a great story.
Yeah,
for a certain extent,
absolutely.
That extent alone, if you were a collector, I would say this is an interesting bottle to add you.
So I will say this: if you got a few extra coin in your pocket and you are a Laphroaig fan, or even just an Islay fan, then it's worth. You're not going to hate it.
Give it a shot.
You're not going to hate it. So I guess that's our Whiskey Cave take. I can't wait to see you in July. The original Cigar and Bar. It's gonna be a good day.
It'll be great. Appreciate you guys having me on. This has been a great time.
Yeah, beautiful, nice little whiskey cave. You like?
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's awesome. I would be down here. I wouldn't work. I would be here. This is where I would be if I lived here.
Yeah. Well, truth be known, I let the secret out. This was the COVID project. Everybody had the COVID project.
Yeah.
So once I realized everybody's going to start working remote, I'm like, well, I guess a whiskey cave's going to work.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, I'm Tom.
I'm Derek.
That's Derek.
I'm Lee.
Lee Graves from Kristoff. And thanks for coming to the Whiskey Cave. We'll see you next time.
I knew you were going to do that to me, too. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.